All right, so today's lab day, all right, and it's fall break next week, so I'm not going to assign any homework, okay? If you didn't hand in the homework assignment that was due last night, the linked list stuff, please try to get that done as soon as possible. There is that 5% per day. But I have talked to a handful of students over the past couple days about this assignment, and I want to do a lab day that's not computer-based on drawing pictures. Okay, all right? So what we're going to do is I made these sort of crazy packets, and I have one of these for each of you, by the way. And what it does is, I'll even just put it on the, oh, it's not there. Hold on a second. Let me just record. New movie recording, so then you can see it in the video. This is what it looks like, okay? So I printed this out because what I want you to do for this lab is I'm going to give you some code, right, with a node definition, and I want you to draw what memory looks like. You got that? Okay? Now, if you're like, what do you mean by that? All right, well, I'm going to do a couple examples, all right? But this is essentially your lab packet, all right? And you can draw, so for most of the lab, it's drawing pictures, okay? Now, because we have to code eventually, we're also going to do the opposite thing, okay? So I drew you pictures, and then you write code to make the pictures. Do you get that? Okay? So really what I want to concentrate on is going from pictures to code and code to pictures, all right? Because you can't really code unless you have the pictures in your mind a little bit. And at this point, if you're not used to doing this, you're going to get really confused. So that's why I suggest writing down the pictures. And another reason is because on the next exam, there's lots of questions that look like this, all right? How to create nodes and that sort of thing, all right? So when you're deleting nodes, inserting, deleting, all of that, it can get confusing. What is the next pointer, the previous pointer, all that. So I just want to give a little practice doing that. Make sense? All right, now, before we do this one, let's, you want to do code to pictures or pictures to code?
Code to pictures.
Code to pictures. All right, so I'm going to do an Alt-Tab right here. And I'm going to write some code. And probably I'm not even going to run this. And what I will do is, let's see, head is equal to node. And we're going to say, you know what, I'm going to change this a little bit. Yeah, because I can. Head is that. What else do I want to do? A is equal to node, parentheses 6, comma, head. I'm trying to confuse you, by the way. Okay, all right. B is equal to node 7, comma, head. And then head dot next is equal to B. Okay? All right? Now, preferably you have a piece of paper in front of you so you can write down what you think this looks like. All right? Anybody want a piece of paper? I don't have that many sheets of paper. Paper? Nobody wants paper? By the way, this is your note sheet. Your lab packet I do want at the end because then I will, do you want this graded or just attendance? Attendance? Okay, all right. So this is on you to concentrate on this and follow along. And probably I will go over the answers towards the end of lab and it will become attendance. Ready? Okay, all right. So I'm going to bring up, so I'm going to try to do this side by side so we can look at the code and you can see me drawing pictures. Let's see, where's my corner? There's the corner. Okay. So, line 7. What should I draw for line 7? A box? Right, that says head. Okay, and what goes in the box? Good, to a node. All right, I'll make a node. Okay, what should the node look like? How many spots should be in the node? 2, right? Because I did do it again. I can't point with my pencil on the camera. Right. There's one thing, value, and then there's next. And I'm just going to keep it in order. So like value is going to be the left-hand side, and then next is going to be on the right-hand side. Okay, and what do I put in this box? Oh, head points to here. Dink. Yeah, 5 for the value spot. All right. And what goes in the next spot?
None.
None. And we usually write a slash for that. Got that? Okay. All right. Line 8. What happens?
A new node is created?
Good. New node is created. Perfect. All right. Created a new node. All right. Might as well put in the 6, right? And now we have a fun problem. What do you think is head? How does my picture show that? What is head? Yeah, in a pointer or an arrow that points to the 5 node, right? Okay, so the next right here will therefore, what's that? Point to the 5. Point to the 5. Okay, all right. Notice that's not head.value or head.next. That is just head. What is head? Head's a node. Okay, all right. And actually, there's one more thing for line 8 we probably should write down.
We have to label it A.
Yeah, probably should not label the node, but we have an A variable, and A points to that. I don't actually use it in the rest of the code, so it's not really going to do anything, but I guess I didn't have to do that. All right, what about line 9?
Basically the same thing.
Yep, basically the same thing. So there's a node. All right, 7 goes right there. All right, what is the next pointer? What does that point to?
Head again.
Head again, which is, I think of it this way, whatever's in that box, which is an arrow, this also points to the same thing. You can see this is a very bad linked list, but whatever, just practice. All right, I have a 7 right there. I have a B box, and that points to the 7, okay? And then what happens on line 10?
The none is in 5 points to
Yep.
B, which is pointing to the 7.
Well, okay, let's say this a little bit better. The none in 5
Yeah.
points to the same thing that B points to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't point to B. For instance, the same thing that B
Yeah.
points to, right? Another way to think about this is, what is the value of B? It is a location. What location? This location. So we put the same location up there. So therefore we draw an arrow that points like that. And this is a pen, so I can't undo that slash, but you get that idea. Is that clear? Okay? Yes? All right, yeah. Okay. All right. Ready for another? Okay. You want to do a linked list or a bidirectional linked list?
Sounds like you want to do bidirectional.
I will, because those are fancier, because we have previous pointers. Let's keep this for a second. All right. Head is equal to node. Change the numbers up. 8. Yep. Okay. Node 10 comma head. Node 11 comma head. Head dot next is equal to node 12 comma node 13. Yes. Okay. And then head dot next dot next dot next is equal to node 14. Whole new problem. All right, I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Make that really big. What do we do for line 13? Oh, let me alt tab that. There we go. Now you can see it. Here. There we go. All right, what do we do for line 13? All right, head. There's my head. And that points to a node. Okay, we've got an 8 there. All right. What about line 14?
No.
Okay, create a new node.
10 in it that points to 8.
Right, with a 10 in it. That points to the same thing that head points to. So that points to that. Okay. 15. What does 15 do?
Same thing as the line 12, but 11.
Right, same, another node with 11, and that points to that same node. Okay. All right. And now I had some fun nesting stuff. All right. What about line 16?
A new node.
Okay. Let's think about this. How many new nodes get created on line 16? 2. Right? Note it says node and node. Okay. All right. So 2 nodes are getting created. And why don't we, you can't see that. There you go. I'll stay just like that. Okay. I'm going to put these over here. Okay. So there's one node. Here's another node. Oh, you can't see that either. Okay. All right. So head.next. What is head.next?
The none.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I never actually put the none there. Yeah. Oops. That was sort of convenient. All right. Head is this node. Dot next is that spot is equal to a node. Okay. Well, that points to that new one that I just created. Okay. All right. And that one has the value 12 in it. And where does it point to? Where does its next pointer point to? The new node over here that's 13. And that one has a slash in it. Okay? Right? Okay? And then head, next, next, next. There's 3 next. Hopefully I got that right. Hope next, next, next is equal to node 14. All right? So there are 3 nexts. So here is head, right? Next, next, next is equal to, all right, so we're going to put something new in there. What is it? A new node. So we're going to have a new node over here. Let me just move that out of the way. Hopefully you can see everything. That's node 14. So now I have a 14 over there, and that points to that one, and I have a slash. There we go. Everybody got that? Okay. All right. Does everybody feel sort of a little bit comfortable with that? Ish? Okay. All right, so that's one type of problem I want you to do in the lab on my sheet is I give you some code. I want you to draw what it looks like. Okay. Things that I want you to pay attention to are looking for how many variables there are, right? So in this code right here, how many variables am I actually using? Or how many boxes have arrows in them that are labeled with a name? 1. I just have head. I just have head. Okay? Now, in the previous problem, I had what? Head, A, and B. Okay? All right? So just be careful of that when you're writing your solutions. Okay? All right, so another sort of weird question, I just made this up, is traversing a linked list. Okay? Now, normally, it's in a chain. Okay? So what I want you to think about is what is the traversal of this linked list starting with the head pointer, following the next pointers? Does everybody get what I mean by that? Okay, so what would that be? What would the first number be? What's the first node or value in the node that would be in the list traversal starting with head? 5, right, exactly, 5. Okay, all right, and then we follow the pointer, and where does it go? 7. Okay, follow the next pointer, where does it go? 5. Where does it go? 7. Okay, all right, so if I ran some traversal code and I was stopping when the pointer is none, what happens? It just goes on forever, okay, all right? You probably had this happen when you're developing your code. This is very easy to do in a linked list. You mess up the pointers, it becomes a circle, and you just keeps going in circles. Okay? All right, so 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. All right. What about this one?
8.
Yep. So head. So I have 8 first. And then?
12.
12. Good. And then?
13.
Yeah. And then 14.
Would you be able to access the 10 and 11 or no? No, right?
No. So I can't access those whatsoever. Okay? Interestingly, in Python, it sort of figures that out and will return that back to the operating system. Yeah. If it's smart, it might not even execute it, but I think it would execute it because it doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. Okay? Are we sort of clear with that? Okay? All right, you're ready to do the opposite? All right, I draw a picture, then you come up with the code. Oh, or do you want to do a bidirectional? Yes, yes, and yes. All right, let's do a bidirectional first. So here's what let's do is I'm just going to make a copy of this node class down here. I'm just going to call this node 2, and we have value prev. Sorry, I'm running out of screen there. Okay, we have a previous and a next, right? And we have self value self.prev is equal to prev. All right, so node 2. By the way, how many parameters could I use in the constructor to create a new node 2? Yep, 1 is a valid answer. Anything else? Could I give it 2 parameters? Yep, and then it would use next is none, right? But I can also give it 3 parameters if I want to set the value, previous, and none. Okay, all right, so that's sort of sneaky. Okay, so let's see here. And remember, it's value, previous, and next. Okay. All right, let's just do like a is equal to node 2. I don't know what numbers. Let's just do this really boring. 1. B is equal to node 2, 2A. C is equal to node 2, 3A. C dot next is equal to B. Not bad. B dot next is equal to A. Oh, da da da. Okay. B dot next is equal to C. This is way more fun with bidirectional, by the way. Way more fun. Okay. Good. Oh, no. It's trying to fill that in automatically. B dot next dot previous is equal to B. Oh. Okay? Yes. Okay. Okay. And that all fits perfectly. All right. What happens on line 27? Yeah, creates a new node A. All right. So A is a box that points to a new node. Oh, how many spots in this new node now? Yeah, 3. Okay. And I'm going to draw this so that the previous, oops, sorry, I can't see that. Previous is over here on the left, next is over there on the right, and then the value is in the middle. Okay. So what goes into this box?
None, 1, none.
Yeah, none, 1. Question?
Why is there 3 spots?
The 3 spots because I defined this node 2 to have a value, previous, and next parameters in it. Okay? Yeah. And that's also why I called it node 2 rather than node. Okay? And again, default parameters. So if I just say 1, 1 is the value. Oops, sorry, got to see that. 1 is the value. All right? And then by default, it'll put nones in the other 2 sides. Okay? Oh, and then A points to that. All right? Okay. What about B? Very similar? Right? Okay, so B is a node. Tink, tink. Okay, all right, we have a 2 as the value. Let me fill that arrow in. All right, and what about the 2 pointers inside? Previous? Points to whatever A points to. Okay. The value of A, right? Okay, all right, and what about its next? None. Okay. All right, and then C actually does the exact same thing, doesn't it? We create another node. Kink, kink. 3 goes in there. C points to that. Its next is none. And then its previous points to the same place that A points to. So, yeah, there we go. Okay? And some of you might be wondering, is there a better way to draw this so that none of the lines overlap? Probably. But I'm not planning ahead, so we might have some crossing lines. Oops. That's the problem making this up on the fly. Okay. Oh, I could have put that on the other side. All right, next line, 30. What happens? C.next, right? It takes the value of B. What's the value of B? B is a pointer to this node. So there we go. I'm crossing the line. Oh, maybe not. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's go that way. Let's see if I can get around not crossing lines. Okay, it's okay to cross lines. All right, good. Okay, next one. B.next is equal to A. That's interesting, right? So A is right here. It's this one, right? B next. So we're talking about that spot. Points to A. B previous points to A. That doesn't make any sense. That's why this is an exercise. All right, so that also points up here. Okay? All right, next one. B.next is equal to C. Okay, so B.next, right, is equal to C. C points to this. So now this is going to come all the way around here and point to C.
Does it point to C dot, like?
Oh, so it's just, yeah, so we don't actually point to things inside of boxes. Oh, I guess you could, yeah, I am sort of doing that, but it really points to the box.
Oh, okay.
It points to the box. Yeah. This means the same as like pointing to over here. Yeah. Okay. All right, and the last one.
Excuse me.
Yes, yeah.
So B is not pointing to previous, but to whole box? I mean, B is not pointing to previous.
Okay, B
Next.
B is here, and B next.
Yeah, he's pointing, you say he's pointing to the, what is he pointing to?
So B next is pointing to A.
A previous or just A?
A, yeah. Oh, that's true. I didn't do that on the right-hand side. I could really confuse people if I did that. Yeah, I could. I could do that. Notice on the right-hand side, I just have A, B, C, and another B, or nodes. But I could have like B.next is equal to C.next. That would be valid and confuse us. So we'll take small steps. I saw that. You said yes. You want to do it. Okay. All right. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Now this doesn't make sense from a doubly linked list standpoint. Wait, B previous points to A and next points to A? Yeah, I know that doesn't make sense. But this is a practice, right? It's like lifting weights at the gym. We don't lift weights in regular life. It's to exercise. All right. So B next is equal to C. B next is equal to C. And the last one is B next previous is equal to B. Wait, did I really do that? B next previous? Oh, really? Okay. So B next previous, which is that one, right? Yeah, which is this one, right? So B next is talking about this node up here, okay? Dot previous currently has a none in it, right? Is equal to B. So that points down to this node right there. Very messy. Are we good with that? All right, let's go the other way. So now I'm going to draw a picture, and you, on a piece of paper, maybe this would be good practice, and the code's not very hard, it's next and previous's. Write code to generate that picture. Got that? All right, so let's do this. Head, box, points to, you want to do a linked list or a bidirectional?
Link list first.
Okay. Yeah, all right, let's just do that. Okay, extra credit if you can do that with only one variable called head. All right, I'm gonna type so that you can read my handwriting. How am I gonna do this? There we go. Okay. All right, let's do this with extra variables, first of all, and then we'll see if we can get rid of all the variables, okay? All right, so what would be the first thing that we could do? Yep, head is equal to what? Yeah, technically node 2. With what? Okay. All right. Okay. No?
Don't you do node 4, comma, node 2?
We can. Let's just go overboard with the variables, and then we'll revisit nesting. You got that? Is that okay? Okay, all right. So in everybody's mind, what do we have right now? Head is equal to node 4. That.
With a none.
With a none in it, right. Okay, all right. Okay, next line. What else do we want to do?
Head.next.
Yep, head.next. Head.next, okay, is equal to,
Node 2.
oh, actually it's not node 2, sorry. Node is linked list, and node 2 is bidirectional, so that should be node. Okay, node with what value?
2.
2, good. All right, and that's going to automatically put a none at the very end, all right? So at this point, I have that. Okay, and lastly, how do we deal with the node that has that 1 in it?
Node 2.
Okay. Node 2. I'm creating it.
No, like,
Create a variable?
yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll just call it T, okay? T is equal to, I'm going to sort of modify this. So now I have a little box called T. And what goes in T?
Enter
To what?
that node up top.
This node, okay? Okay, all right, so then we can do what? T is equal to node 1. Okay, now at that point, I don't have that link on there anymore. I don't have that link yet. How can I add that link?
T.next is equal to head.next next.
Okay, yep, let me do another line. So T.next is equal to, so T.next is this spot. What am I going to put in there? What was it?
Head.next next.
Head.next next. No, that's none.
Next dot value.
No, 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 no. Next dot value is 2. How do I get access to that thing? This is what I want to put in there, by the way.
Head.next.
Head.next. It's just head, not next. Okay, all right? Is head.next. Okay? Head.next is this value, and I want to put that same value in there. Okay? We all right with that? All right, want to see if we can do this as a, No variables besides head? Okay. All right, anybody want to tell me what it is, or do you want me to work? Yeah,
So it's just T dot next equal head dot next, that's it?
that's right. Okay, so T dot next is this spot. What are we going to put in there? I want to put whatever is in that box in there, because I want this to point to the same spot that this is pointing to. That's that node.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Would T be a node 2 instead of a node? 'Cause it's
That's what I was.
Oh, I'm
That's what
sorry.
I was talking
I'm
about.
sorry. I drew that wrong.
That's why I was.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. It was a mistake when I drew this. I didn't mean to mix nodes and node 2s, but yes, you're right. That should be a node 2. Oops, sorry. There you go. Happy now? Yeah. It's the first time I realized that. You can't do that in C or C++.
So you could do it
Oh, I take that back. You can do it with inheritance. Shit. Okay, never mind. Let me explain what I was just thinking there. In C and C++, you have to name all the types. Okay? So up here, when I defined node, I have to say value is what type of thing. I didn't actually specify this, but I've always put integers in there, right? So value would be an integer, okay? I also have to label the type of next. Anyone want to take a guess what the type of next would be? This is for the 156 and 230 folks.
It's a node.
It's a node pointer. It's a node star. Okay, yes. Think we did it, probably didn't understand it. Yeah. Okay? One of the awesome tricks with inheritance is you can do fancy stuff with pointers, and it will figure out at runtime what kind of pointer that is. What? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, all right, good. All right, let's try to continue and do this as a one. Did I say one-liner? No variables. Okay. Anybody want to take a stab at this? Okay. So head is equal to. I have to have that. Can't get rid of that. Is what?
node
Yep. Node
4,
4.
node 2.
Node 2. Okay. So what does that make?
Everything without the top.
Everything without the top. Perfect. Okay. And then on the next line, how could I create the top? That one. Ignore the T. There's no previous. These are just linked lists. They just have nexts to them. That was a whoops on my drawing part.
Node 1.
Node, right? So we're going to create a node. And what's its value going to be? 1. And where is its next pointer going to point to? Head.next. Right, head.next, right? It's whatever is right there. Head.next. Okay? And now I didn't use any variables. How sneaky. Okay? Now, technically, after I say line 41, I can no longer access this node at all. Because there's no way I can get in there without a T or something pointing back to it. Okay? You want to do one more picture to code? Should I do some foreshadowing here? Let's do it. I forgot to write the arrows. Okay. Tell me what to do. Good. Head is equal to node 2. Just one, okay. Okay, what do we have now? That, sort of, with nuns?
Could you do like a lot of nesting?
Let's try to see if we can figure out how to do this with just two variables. That,
Create B.
yeah, let's create B, right? So B is equal to node 2, what did I write there? 3, good. All right, so B is equal to node 2, 3, good. So now I have that. Okay. Then what? Let's try to create this node. Hold on a second. Head dot what? Yep, head dot previous. Good. So head dot previous. Okay. What then? Exactly is equal to. So what goes in that spot? An arrow that points to one of these things. And what is one of these things? A node. Right? So node. Good. What's the value? 2. All right. Should we just try to fill this out right now? Okay, what's the previous pointer on this new node that I just created? What should it be? None. And the reason why we're doing this is because I really want to set the other side. And what goes on this other side, which is the next side? B. Okay? B. Because B points to that one, and I want that one to point to that one too. Go a little bit farther. Yeah, there we go. Okay? All right. Now we have something that looks like this without that node over there. Okay. How can I add that other node? Okay, good. So head.next. Head.next. Okay. Then what? Good. Is equal to node.
Like node 2.
Oh, node 2. Yes, node 2. Oh, this one was a 2 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Node 2 parentheses. Then what?
4.
4. Good. And what about its previous pointer? What does it point back to? Head, yeah. Well, whatever head points to, which is this node. And if I don't say anything else, that puts a none there. Yay. Seems like you guys are understanding this a little bit better.
Can you do that with like a bunch of nesting?
Oh, actually, I don't think you can. I was thinking about this. I don't think you can. And the reason is I need a pointer to this to put into there. But as I'm creating this headline, the headline, right here, head doesn't exist until the line gets executed. So actually, I don't think you can. I think you have to do it in 2 steps. Yeah. Now, we can do that node, that node, that node in one line, right? Just by nesting, nesting, nesting. All right? Obviously, I'll need another line to create another variable b that points to that thing, right? So that's what, 2 lines. And then I need a third line to make that node and point it back to there. Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah. In one line, I can create all of the nodes. This one, this one, this one, this one. One more line to make the B, and one more line to fix that one. Because then T will exist, and then I can get access to it in T. Okay, so I guess I can do it in 3 lines. I know in our code we did it in 4. But, yeah. Right? Do you want that as an extra credit on the next exam? Try to do it in as few lines as possible. That seems sort of fun. Yeah. Not that useful, but yeah. Fun brain teaser. All right, how are we feeling about this? Good? You ready for the packet? The packet's easier than this. All right, so I created this as fast as possible right before class. So probably what I would recommend is the first, by the way, they're dual-sided. Feel free to draw the pictures on this rather than using another piece of paper.